Alright, so rounding out tonight's vacuums is a Miele Complete C3 Homecare from 2015. I didn't get it in 2015, I actually got it a few days ago, but yeah, this was just like, so I've been planning to get a Miele S500 for a long time, and I, I saw a decent deal on the power head and the wand, so I got those, and then I was looking at the S500 prices on eBay, and I was like, that's a lot of money uh for an old vacuum. Like, it's about the same price as a used Miele C3, so that's how I ended up getting a used Miele C3, and it is in really nice condition for a used vacuum. I don't have really any complaints about the state it showed up in, which, with eBay vacuums, it's a big gamble, especially on something like a Miele where, you can totally screw one up by using the wrong bags in there, or not using the cord winder carefully, like overstretching it. But yeah, this one turned out just fine, so we can get a little closer. And I basically just got the hose and the wand, not hose and wand, the hose and the canister unit, and then I got the wand and the power nozzle separately. Already had the TK286, already had the Alltech. So this is my first canister from the last decade, I guess. I'm trying to think. No. I have that. I have that perfect C105, but that thing's not great with its battery or switch issues, whatever's going on with it. But this, on the other hand, I got the Miele Quick Step, the stick vac, and I didn't really like it. Like, other than the issue it had with um, the bag flap not being there and causing debris to fall out after you're done vacuuming, I actually just thought it had kind of a bad form factor for a stick vac, and I just wasn't that happy with it. But then I decided to get another one of my dream vacuums later, which was the Miele S7 Tango. I also didn't like that one very much because it was heavy. An awkward to use. It felt very much like a first gen dual motor upright, kind of like the Ultra MVP. And I think Miele knew that, so they discontinued it. They discontinued both those vacuums because I'm not saying they're terrible, but they aren't as good as this. This is like I was not expecting to like this thing as much as I did. It's quiet. It performs really well. Um, it's what you'd expect a Miele to be, and that's not to say I don't have some complaints though. I think the hose is too short. An extra couple feet would be good because if you're like, because this vacuum doesn't have a swivel on the canister end and only a limited swivel on the hose end, you're you can get in situations where it feels like you're trying to play like Twister with the vacuum. Like, it's at your feet, but the hose isn't moving the way you want it to. Like, compare something like my Simplicity Cinch with a swivel on both ends. It's kind of annoying, and like, if the non-electric hoses on this vacuum are full swivel, then I might pick one of those up later, because this vacuum is really nice to use. Like, this vacuum is really nice to use on hard floors, but I think the triple caster setup, which I'll show you here, it's great on hard floors because the vacuum just follows you without any issue. You can kind of push it out of the way and stuff, but it doesn't maneuver that well on carpet compared to something like that perfect C105 that I mentioned earlier, because that one just has two huge wheels, so you can basically pull it up and it'll fall behind you perfectly. It's not going to get caught in the carpet pile. And I kind of wonder if that's why Miele released the Boost CX1, their newest bagless vacuum. I think Miele kind of knew that this setup's kind of annoying on carpets, and while the Boost doesn't have a power nozzle, I mean, I haven't gotten one up close, but none of the configurations come with a power nozzle. It does come with one of the TK286 style turbos, the STB305, And trust me, this vacuum definitely has enough power to drive it. Like, it's literally got, like, more... I'd say this is probably the most powerful vacuum I own in terms of probably, like, suction and trying to drive a turbo. I still need to do tests on it, but it feels crazy powerful. And, like, man, it drives the turbo super well. Like, because the turbo is so nice and maneuverable, I totally prefer it over using the bulky power head. And as you can see, my carpet is, like, pretty low pile throughout the house, so I don't really feel like I'm losing too much by mainly using the turbo. But yeah, this vacuum is definitely going in the, like, you know, the kind of rotation vacuum that I usually use in the house. Like, next to the SEB Felix, like, this vacuum is up there with the SEB Felix, and Recur 8900 is, like, out of all the vacuums in my collection, those are some of the closest things to, like, a perfect vacuum that I've tried. Like, perfect in the sense that, like, it does a lot of stuff right and lines up with what I want out of a vacuum. But, yeah, not sure what else there is to say about it. Yeah, why don't we show it running? I'll be doing the turbo first, and then follow up with the electro head. And I have to say that, I'll be honest, the electro head's been kind of disappointing to me. Like, mine does have an issue where the height adjustment doesn't work right, which I will demonstrate right now. So, it goes down just fine, but when you start going up, then a lot of times it'll slip, like that. Yeah, so kind of annoying, but there is a solution. You just kind of lift the head up and yeah. So it's kind of annoying. Like, it was worse when I first got the vacuum, but I've reassembled it and it's not as bad. And because it only happens on the up stroke, I guess, then I don't know. I don't really need to change the height adjustment too much while I'm vacuuming, but I will say this is why I prefer dial ones, because you're not having to, like, if you accidentally go too low, then, or, yeah, if you need to move up, then you have to click it, like, 6 times rather than just, like, bending down, switching to the next setting, and, you know, going and vacuuming. But, yeah. And I feel like this power head's a little flimsier than, like, a SEB ET1 or a Lindhouse head. Like, that said, I do see them selling for, like, or I see that, so this is a Vesselwerk EBK 360, And, well, I do like the performance of it and the maneuverability. Like, this is probably the best carpet swivel head that I've ever tried. Like, I'm not just saying in terms of power heads. I mean, like, out of any vacuum I've ever tried, like, that has a swivel, like, you know, stuff like Oric Magnesium, Dyson Ball DC50, Daredevil Swivel Glide, I guess you could say the SEB ET1 as well, although we're getting back into power heads. This one maneuvers extremely well. I do find it's a little, I guess, front heavy. Like, when I'm pulling it back, it sometimes, like, goes up like that, which is kind of annoying. But it's, I just have to kind of adjust my vacuuming technique, which you, I guess, have to do with every vacuum. But let's get that back in 3 when we need that. But yeah, like, I think if this power head was better, then I'd find it, then this would be pretty close to a perfect vacuum in my opinion. Like, I mean, it's already really good, but just, I don't know, makes the power head feel a little tougher, switch to a dial setup. Like, I do kind of get the benefit of the pedal because you can operate it with your foot, but I feel like it just takes so much time compared to just, you know, switching and setting on a dial. Or, shoot, it probably takes even more time than just, like, taking the wand off and putting in a hard floor nozzle if you're moving to hard floors, but whatever. Enough talking about the vacuum. Let's actually vacuum. So you notice that the serial's kind of ground up. I basically just took it out of the Daredevil Swivel Glide division. So, because as much as I like the TK286, it's not as good as like a regular power head for large debris. So hopefully this will kind of show off its strengths. Because honestly, I'd say that if you can get away with a turbine head, that's honestly the way I prefer to go. Like, because you have pretty good options on the market now. You got like the Miele Turbo Team, the Henry Petcare, Henry Extra, which are all vacuums I do want to get Henry at some point, but I think those vacuums are definitely worth considering. I think if you have a modern canister with enough power, then give the turbines a shot. They're pretty awesome. And with the TK286, you can also open up the gate at the top to basically keep it from sealing the carpet too much, and makes the turbine spin a little faster because you now have an extra airflow source, so I'll demonstrate that. Way easier to close. Yeah, the vacuum meows at you sometimes. I guess that's the airflow vent maybe or something. Alright, so now we will test the vacuum with its SEB 228 power head. We all love how quiet these Mieles are. That is impressive. That picks up very well. And just look how well that maneuvers. That's like, for the Vulcan side of this power head, like, it handles really well. But you can see the way, like, it's kind of easy to lift back up, so it kind of don't want to move too quickly with it. It's not too hard to push. I'll give it that. Like, I'm actually kind of going against the grain of my foot right now. It's usually easier to push back just for going like, if I'm going like this, like kind of forward stroke, but yeah, this is, I get why people like Miele. In fact, okay, I like using this thing so much I need to put some more dust down. Let's see how it does with that. Oh, that's impressive. Like, cause with the dirt demos I was seeing them leave some stuff behind, like, they'll get caught on the backstroke, but this is just handling it everything perfectly. Now, whether it's the power of the canister unit doing that or the power head, I don't know, but yeah, this is a nice vacuum. So there's that. I'm not a huge fan of Miele in the way that they like don't make parts available and stuff, but their canisters are extremely good. Like, I still like try SEB E3 out sometime because I bet that's pretty great. I like the Felix a lot, so I bet I'd like it. But this is a very good vacuum, and you saw me using the Alltech forehead earlier. I was supposed to have a parquet tool from an Amazon seller, but they haven't shipped it out after a few days, so figured y'all probably aren't missing too much. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed that, and I'll do a little extra video, which you'll see in a second.